Well, it looks like Greg Heffley's crystal ball isn't done yet. What new questions are there? Will Greg and Raleigh still be friends? Moldy cheese? I thought it was the cheese. Yeah, I've liked that. There's a chance that you'll get sneak peeks if you're, but that only happens if you're lucky. It's hard luck being a wimpy kid. I have all the Diary of Wimpy Kid books so far. It's hard to say. I can't believe Greg's crystal ball is still there. Friends come and go. Well, you can ask anything now. We've got all these shakes now. And Greg's crystal ball could potentially reach a really high number, like 10 million. Or even higher. Wait a bit longer. Like he did in the third wheel. Why would Uncle Gary need to, though? He won $40,000 on a scratch ticket. Ah, yes, a nice vacation during spring break. Time will tell all, but you've got to at least see a sneak peek. Yeah, I don't know the half of it. In fact, I know nothing. A reference to the fourth Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. Oh, great. Another shake. Are there still challenges? Yay, there's still challenges. The challenges still exist. And you can still do this with Greg's crystal ball. But there's no set goal for this, so really it's just pointless. You bet I'm feeling lucky. In fact, I'm hoping to get a nice sneak peek. Oops, I didn't ask a question. One of the weirdo things Fragley did. Here's all the questions you could ask yourself. Will Manny grow up and behave himself? Oh, great. Greg Heffley's mom hasn't always embarrassed. Greg hasn't always been embarrassed every single time by his mom. Sometimes he gets embarrassed by Manny, like he did in The Last Straw, or by Rowley, like he did in the original Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Or maybe it could be by someone totally unrelated, but who's still in the book. Like in the original Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Sometimes it's by Fragley. Now the questions. Well, Holly Hills. Oh, if I ask again, it'll give a different answer. Then I ask again. gives a different answer to end his dreams. Does he even want to date Holly Hills? Maybe, maybe not. That is if they even are. Possibly still be dating. Raleigh and Abigail could be a couple now. Frankly, do something gross. Oh yes, I would like to know Greg Heffley. In fact, I want to know. It seems unlikely that Greg Heffley will, because he's tried real hard in the past and he hasn't been successful. And the 7th Diary of Wimpy Kid book is ironic because Greg originally thought that Raleigh would never get a date, but he did. But has Raleigh really ditched him yet? Well, you could say so. Yeah, I'd like Greg and Raleigh to still be friends and all. And by the way, Pop Tropica Dr. Hare's Lair got 10,000 supporters on Lego Cusco, so now there's a possibility that it could be an actual Lego product. Pop Tropica could be the next big Lego set series. Pop Tropica plus Lego could be a game clanger. I asked every single question. Will Greg eat a burger? The more you shake, the more it'll show. Oh, come on. Friends come and go. Well, you do, Crystal Ball. Unless you're just some sort of way to pass the time while this timer ticks down. If I pay attention, I'll know exactly how long this video is before I even upload it. Because, well, the screen recorder I'm using doesn't come with an official timer. Well, it does, but in order for me to see it, I would have to click on the tab where it is. Like that. And you don't want that. Oh great, now Rowley is interfering here. Oh wait, I think I didn't ask this one yet. I personally don't think anyone will touch the cheese, because remember in the original Diary of Wimpy Kid, Rowley ate the mold. Remember? Rowley ate the cheese. Rowley actually ate the cheese. He didn't just touch it, he ate it. And no, that was because teenagers forced him to. And Greg managed to Greg managed to sweet talk himself out of having to eat some of it as well. So that's what happened to the cheese in the original Diary of Wimpy Kid. So that question is irrelevant because the cheese was eaten by Rowley. In other words, the answer lies in Rowley, since Rowley ate the cheese. Yeah, I actually said that, unlike Greg. Come on. Please. It could happen. Who will touch the cheese? Okay, I'm gonna think of the worst person. I'm gonna guess that means Greg Heffley, right? But then again, yeah, that would make sense. It's the Seventh Diary of a Kid book is gonna be called Hard Luck, right? Greg Heffley is getting older, and that's the thing. As time goes on, you're gonna see Greg Heffley have to face tougher and tougher challenges because he keeps getting older. Duh, very likely. Well, that would be an accurate answer because if you happen to look, this question has an expiration date because although the Seventh Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, Hard Luck, will take place in spring, but then the 8th one will. So I'm willing to bet that the Seventh Diary of a Wimpy Kid book will feature Greg Heffley's exams, middle school finals, and so the 8th Diary of a Wimpy Kid book will show off his summer, and then the 9th one, if there is a 9th one, or even an 8th one to begin with, then the 9th one will show Greg Heffley at high school. You see, eventually it's gonna be. You see, you're gonna start to see it go from being, well, from a wimpy kid stuck in middle school with a bunch of morons to, you see, as time goes on, you're gonna see it go from being about. Look, I'm just gonna say that as time goes on, you're gonna see the series go from being about a wimpy kid stuck in middle school with a bunch of morons to being about a slightly less wimpy kid being stuck in high school with a bunch of mild morons. And that's what's gonna happen in the near future. Something's gonna happen, and Greg Heffley it'll start being about Greg Heffley in high school. Although for now it's still Greg Heffley in middle school, Jeff Kenny's gonna have to bump it up to high school soon. Since Roderick is in high school, he made Roderick be in high school, so clearly I don't think he'll mind. I'll get back to Plunder Mars after this as well. It's currently 7:54 p.m., so the sun may be starting to go down. 7:54 p.m., yeah, frankly, we'll probably do something gross, since he's appeared in every single Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. Of course. That is, if Frankly even appears at all, because Frankly appears rarely. But when he does appear, he's basically a highlight. The only major appearance of Frankly, there's only a few times when Fragley actually changed the story. I can only think of a few times. The first was when Greg decided to spend the night at Fragley's house. The second was when Fragley interrupted Greg when he was walking up to Holly Hills. The third was in the last straw when Holly Hills mistaked Greg for Fragley. And, well, and I suppose you could argue that the time when Fragley got that bumper sticker, you could argue that was another memorable appearance of Fragley when he changed his story, because there was a time Greg flashed back to when he had a problem with that bumper sticker. You know, man, he put the bumper sticker right on his dad's car. His dad had a sports car back then. He traded it in for a minivan after he saw that the paint got ripped off. And there was a new character introduced called Ruby Bird. You see, each new Diary of a Wimpy Kid book introduces new characters and new problems. And each new Diary of a Wimpy Kid book makes it harder to establish exactly what time and what place the whole series took place in, because then there's more of a chance for something to happen that completely changes everything. You could just say a random time and a random date, but then you might not make any sense. Sure, I understand it's supposed to be timeless and placeless, but the truth is it's not. The Greg Heffley family celebrates Christmas and Thanksgiving, so you know they're in the United States. And in the original Diary of a Wimpy Kid, it didn't snow a single time until February. So in the southern states, it almost never snows. You go several years without any snow. But in the northern states, aka the one I live in, New York, it snows, you're almost guaranteed to get snow. So, you're almost guaranteed to get snow on there's a good chance you'll get snow as early as October in the northern states. So, it's safe to say that Greg Heffley, the entire Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, takes place in Virginia. The question is, what city? That's when it gets tough. Well, I'm just gonna say that it takes... Well, there aren't any big government buildings. It doesn't seem to be a very big city. It takes place in the suburbs, since there's only a few houses, and you can't see any huge buildings. There's a forest. You don't see much of a forest in a city. You only see a park. So that's another thing. The Diary of a Wimpy Kid series takes place in the suburbs. And I'm willing to bet... And I'm also willing to bet that the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series also takes place the first Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. This Diary of a Wimpy Kid book will take place in 2013, with the first one taking place in 2005. What's my evidence? Well, the internet. Well, in Roderick Rules, it was mentioned that someone uploaded a video of Roderick's mom dancing. So I'm naturally gonna assume that Roderick Rules takes place in 2006 because YouTube didn't exist until 2005. So that would mean the crazy dancing mom of Roderick Rules would be the first viral video on YouTube ever. If it was actually real. I don't know. I talk a lot about the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, primarily because it's such a big thing to me. I've read all the books, page by page, sentence by sentence, word by word, letter by letter. I enjoy the pictures, too. And most of them were made using a computer, like the one I'm using, like the one you're using right now to watch me. All in all, it's simply, well, the thing is that this is how far we've came. We've came a long way from reading a single book that we've came a long way. In the beginning, it was nothing. We had absolutely nothing. We had to go online to see it. We had to go on Brain Pump to see it. Now look what we've came to. Look where we are right now. Now we are here. Right here, right now. The 8th Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. My birthday is on November 4th this year. I'm gonna be 14 by the time this comes out. And if there's another Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, I guarantee I'm gonna be 15 by the time it comes out, because Jeff Kenny makes about one a year. There was a time when he made 2 in 1 year. But there's no way that's ever going to happen again, because Jeff Kenny has to get ideas. There's nights when he works all day and all night and doesn't come up with anything, and then there's nights where he's able to come up with 50 pages worth of ideas. So it varies a ton. And the thing about Manny, by now Manny is able to go to the bathroom perfectly. Manny should start looking bigger because he's starting to get older now. But it does look like Greg Heffley is getting older. And it seems like Roderick is too. I mean, in the original Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, the girls didn't look that different. Now they're starting to look more and more different. That's something I've noticed. Oh, I do know all of it, you know. I'm just hoping for a sneak peek, but there's no way you're gonna get a sneak peek this early. We've still got 80 days, 12 hours, 6 minutes, 55 seconds, and all of those hundredths of a second to wait. Maybe when we're down to 60 days, we might get a sneak peek. And you'll get it too. But certainly not now. I suppose maybe I'm thinking about reading all the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books again, you know, to refresh my memory and make myself even better at the series. I've spent a lot of time on it. Each new book adds more to remember, more flashbacks, And it all makes sense. For example, the original Diary of a Wimpy Kid book showed that Greg Heffley is clearly alive. Obviously, it showed that. You see, each new Diary of a Wimpy Kid book revealed something new. For example, the original Diary of a Wimpy Kid book revealed that Greg Heffley is in middle school. He has a friend named Raleigh. He has a family. He has a typical American family of two. He has a typical American family with two parents and siblings. He has the full family with plenty of grandparents, aunts, cousins, uncles, aunts, nephews, and more. The second one revealed that Roderick has bullied Greg in the past and will continue to bully Greg. The third revealed that Greg Heffley, can actually stop being wimpy if he really puts his mind to it, or at least seem to be not wimpy anymore if he puts his mind to it. The third Diary of a Wimpy Kid book showed that he does have some willpower. He's not just the lazy lounger guy that you saw when you played the lounger. You know, that really old game where you control a guy who walks around his old room and the goal is to buy a new TV and to have $1,000. He smokes pot. He's lazy. Well, the third revealed that Greg Heffley isn't exactly like that. He actually joined the Boy Scouts. So he isn't completely lazy, but he's still pretty lazy because he didn't join the group where you constantly volunteer. I'm not joining the Boy Scouts, but I will volunteer so I can get into Yale after I finish Athena High School. Because just high school isn't going to get you far in life anymore. You gotta go to a big college. What's more, the fourth Diary of a Wimpy Kid book revealed that his dad used to have a dog. And it also revealed that Greg Heffley is like me and can't handle a pet. Since he got annoyed, his new dog named Sweetie managed to annoy him several times while he was there. And Sweetie even almost managed to escape. But luckily, Greg chased after him in his underwear. And good thing he doesn't sleep naked, or it would have really been bad, if you get what I mean. The fifth Diary of a Wimpy Kid book reveals that Greg Heffley is, as a matter of fact, gradually maturing and aging, and that he will soon enter the awkward phase. The sixth revealed that Greg Heffley, it revealed that Greg Heffley can, in fact, survive a severe extreme weather. He was able to survive a big blizzard. And the seventh revealed that despite the fact that Holly thought he was Heffley, mistaked him for Heffley, that he still tries to get a girlfriend. What will the 8th one reveal? What will Hard Luck reveal? Well, that's when Greg Heffley becomes even more wimpy. If you want my evidence, it's that he starts using an 8-ball. He no longer has trust in his own decisions. He realizes that the decision he's made hasn't been the best. It's not exactly a good idea to rely on an 8-ball for every decision in life. I know that for sure, and so does every big YouTuber out there. This is where I give a shout out to Curtis Paradis. He has a lot of subscribers, but he deserves more. You know he does. All in all, well, well, let me just end this by saying that my dad has pre-ordered Hard Luck even before the cover was revealed. In fact, even before Greg Heffley's crystal ball even existed in the first place. So, yeah. However, what's cool about Hard Luck is that Hard Luck will be the 8th Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. And you see all those 8-balls? So this makes Hard Luck the only Diary of a Wimpy Kid book so far to have the number right on the cover, the front cover. And the subtitle, Hard Luck, also has a nice little horseshoe there. Though I don't know exactly how, if there does happen to be, if the cheese happens to come back in the 8th Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, well, let me just say that even I don't know how they're gonna do that. And by there, I mean Jeff Kenny. You could say I'm nosy, but I just want to find out more about it. Yeah, he did leave after winning $40,000 on a scratch ticket. He left, but not without paying the debt he owed his brother Frank Heffley. I know that because I've read the entire series. There is an old picture of Frank Heffley of him eating a nice little sweet. By the way, Greg Heffley ate one as well and got real sick. He had a bad bellyache for a long time. But still, I can't wait a bit longer. Yeah, I suppose you're right. I've got to get back to Plunder Mars. Well, till next time.